Hi everybody, this is Jerry Corley, founder of the Stand-Up Comedy Clinic. I'm going to do something right now I've never done before, but I just want to... I've been getting a lot of questions about how I go about my joke writing process from students and other people alike. And I just like to show you, you just basically saw on the screen a little flash of my lists that I've put together. It's one of the tools I use to write with. Now, it's called the listing technique. I'm going to show you how it works. The listing technique, by the way, is one of the most powerful joke writing devices or techniques you can use in the business. Because, listen closely, and have your notebooks on this one. Write something down here. If you're going to write anything down, write this down. A joke, one of the definitions for a joke is a convergence of two or more clearly identifiable ideas. You got that? A joke, this is one of the definitions of a joke. A joke is when two or more clearly identifiable ideas come together. It's called incongruence. Incongruence. It's basically a juxtaposition of contrasting elements. Things that don't normally fit together, we make fit together, and that's what makes a joke funny. It's like, flashback to The Odd Couple or something like that. You put two people together who don't normally fit together, and you have comedy. That is probably one of the most popular joke formulas used certainly in commercial comedy, commercially accepted comedy used today, like the kind you see on Leno or on Jimmy Kimmel or on Jimmy Fallon. They often take this type of formula and put it together. So how does it work? Basically, when I sit down to write, there's two different ways you can write comedy. You can do comedy. One is what I call the coincidental comedian, which is brilliant, which is great, which is wonderful. You get an inspiration, something happens, you write it down in a notebook or you record it on your recorder, your digital recorder. If you still have tape, come into the new millennium. And some people have, I know I have a recording device on my Droid, so I can use that if I have an idea. Those are great things, but you have to rely on coincidence. The coincidence of something funny, a funny observation, or something funny to happen in your life in order for you to write it down and say, oh, here's a joke, I'm going to write it down. The other way, and they can both work together, by the way, the other way you create comedy is to manufacture it. That's right, put it together. When you have nothing, you put something together. Here's the key. The key is don't look for something funny. You got that? You're not supposed to look for something funny in this. You're just supposed to look for something. Write down anything. Start with anything, write it down, and then make it funny. And if you understand the basic formulas of comedy, the 10 basic formulas, you only really have to understand 4, because those are the 4 major ones that are really used today. The major formulas of comedy, once you understand those, you can start putting together jokes. Mostly wordplay or double entendre humor and incongruence. Those are the 2 most common as far as word devices when it comes to writing comedy. So let's take a look at what we have here. We sit down to write, right? I'm going to sit down and do my daily writing, and so I sit down in front of a blank screen. This is Microsoft Word. It's the older version because I don't like the newer version. Maybe I'll get used to it. So I sit down, I'm looking at a blank screen. Now, so I have nothing right now. So then I'm going to click over to the news, and I usually go to Yahoo News, but right here I like sports, and what was trending in Yahoo was Tiger Woods. And so I saw what was trending, and I see that Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. So let's just take that line. Let's take that line. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it on a blank document here all by itself. That's the key. Take a random line, any line, make sure it's a full sentence. Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. It's got a subject and a predicate. As far as I remember from basic English, it is a sentence. So that's what we have. Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. Now, once we have it isolated, we can start to manipulate it. We're going to look at this line, Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. One of the other formulas in comedy, besides two clearly identifiable ideas coming together, or the convergence of two clearly identifiable ideas, there's also what they call set up an assumption and shatter the assumption. Set up an assumption and shatter the assumption. So when we see this line, it's already built that in for us. Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. What is the assumption? The world top 20 what? The world top 20, we're assuming golf. Right? I mean, if we understand Tiger Woods as a golf star, golf celebrity, and that Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20, we're assuming he fell out of the world top 20 in golf. So we can take that and spin it another way just by shattering an assumption. What's assumed is it's golf. So we can say Tiger Woods fell out of the world top 20 and then spin it a different way. I've got something working in my head. I'll get to that later. But what I'm going to do right now is I want to show you how this system works, this joke writing tool called the listing technique. If I have Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20, first thing I want to do, what are our converging ideas? What are our differing ideas? Tiger Woods, right? Tiger Woods, we write down everything we know about Tiger Woods. He's a golfer. Now, we have a new element, don't we? We have a new idea here, converging idea, golf, a whole subject matter all by itself that can stream off and create a completely different list of stuff, everything we know about golf. And then we can go to the internet and look up more stuff we know about golf. Golf terminologies, golf phrases, golf people, golf places, golf events, golf tournaments, golf equipment, all kinds of things with golf. You probably have lists going on in your mind right now with golf. Then we also have Tiger is known for his sexual prowess, right? He had an affair. That was the big scandal, his sexual affair. So now, do we have another idea that's converging here? So two or more converging ideas. What's the other idea? So now we also have sex. Sex is always great to make jokes about because sex actually as a subject matter makes up the majority of all subject matter put together. Sex dominates it in the humor industry. And then one of the reasons why is because we have such big hang-ups about sex as human beings. We're worried about size, about whether we perform well or whether, we look good in bed or, did I make her feel good? Did I make him feel good? All kinds of anxieties and hang-ups we have about sex. So sex is a really dominant subject in comedy. It doesn't mean it has to be dirty. You can imply sex too and still get away with it. So what I have done is I've created lists. Based on golf, based on Tiger Woods, based on sex. And these are the kinds of lists I've come up with. Here we have Tiger Woods. On Tiger Woods, you can see I have golf, golfer, Masters, Augusta, skins game. That's interesting. Clubs, 7-iron, irons, woods, ping, Big Bertha, golf bag, driver, caddy, firing your caddy, strippers. Oh, I misspelled it. I put stippers. Stippers isn't going to do anything. Strippers, greens, green fees, leaderboard, golf tournament, CBS, Nike, bunker, rough, tee off, from the tee, slice, hook, hooker. Oh, there's another interesting term. And what we're going to now look for is words that have a possibility of rolling over in our other subject matter. In this case, we have life and sex, and the other list I have put together is strictly sex. You can see on there now, if you're young and really young, this has some R rating to it because you never ever edit yourself in the first draft. You always wait. If you're playing a clean crowd, you have to clean it up, of course, and make it usable. I'm surprised my sex list is so short, but Maybe that's saying something about me. Let's go back to the Tiger Woods. We roll down here. We want to play around. Play around. A guess is that a double entendre? You bet. It has two meanings. We can play that two ways. Back 9, 18 holes, 19 holes, 19th hole. Definitely something there. I've already got jokes rolling in my head. Bucket of balls. Hit some balls. Wash some balls. Buy some new balls. Lucky balls. Titleist. Spalding. Golf shoes. Golf spikes. Golf attire. Golf shirts. Golf pants. Golf gloves. Towel. Rangefinder. All of these bits, all of these little pieces of information dealing with golf can also juxtapose all these pieces on the right side here with sex and life. Crashed his car, taking sleeping pills, banging strippers, sex, fornicate, banging strippers, I'm big on spelling, and that's really clearly not right. Shanked it. You could see the possibility for crossover here on all kinds of different jokes. So I'm looking at Best Golfer in the World. I'm looking at the story of Tiger Woods. Let's go back to what the subject matter is. Key in joke writing is to stick with the subject matter. The subject matter here is Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20. Now, when I read the article says that #1 player has not played since May 12 because of a knee and Achilles tendon injury, although he's expected to announce later this week he will return action at the Bridgestone Invitational on Thursday week. Tiger Woods fallen in the top 20 first time since 1997. Woods has dropped from 8th to 21st in the rankings in that time. Wow, that's fast. Tiger's fallen fast out of the rankings. Wow. So falling that fast out of the rankings. Who else could? Okay, so now joke. Let's see. He dropped that fast in a year. Wow. Tiger Woods falls out of the world top 20 that quickly in like a 1 year period. He dropped that fast in a year. In a year. At this pace. By next year, by next year, he'll be, let's see, okay, here we go. All right, first joke. Bam! Here it is, first joke. Tiger Woods fell to the world top 20. He fell from, what was it? What do we have? He fell from 8th to 21st. Wow, he fell from 8th to 21st in a year. At this pace, by next year, he'll be outranked by Natalie Woods, and she's dead. So that's joke #1. Now, why did he drop? He had an affair that killed his marriage. Well, okay, so here's another joke. We knew this affair. We're having a conversation now with ourselves. We're having a conversation with the material. Why did this happen? Well, I often do what they call the 5 W's, the maxim of the 5 W's. That's who, what, where, why, when, and how. So there's 5 W's and an H. And I start asking questions to the joke. Tiger Woods fell out of the top 20. How, when, why, where, what caused it? All those questions I start to ask, and I start to answer them. We knew this would, this affair would kill his marriage. This affair would kill his marriage. But his love life? Okay, there's a possible joke. It's not that killer, but it's there. It's poignant. We knew this affair would kill his marriage, but his love life? Implying, of course, that he's in love with his golf game and not necessarily. So maybe we could, let's see, what else? To get to how could we get who, what, where, why, when, and how could we get Tiger back to #1? Maybe he should go back to being a sex addict. At least then he knew he could get it into any hole. There we go. There's another joke. Bam! Right? right? Maybe he should go back to being a sex addict. At least then he knew he could get it into any hole. Yeah, that's a solid joke. All right, that works. Looking back over at the lists, let's see. Finger cock ring. Make me count. Dildos, back door. 2 girls, 1 cup. Rim job. Pillow talk. Do me. Make love to me. Affair. One harmless affair. Let's try to keep up in the theme. We're going with the affair. Had an affair, fornicate, crashed his car. Women had an affair. Many girls, strippers in the hall. Elin Nordegren, his wife. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, I mean, who would have thought? Let's see. Who thought that your love life, your golf game, right? Your golf game could be hurt by one harmless affair. Oops, damn, I always do that. Or 120 of them. He had 120 of them, right? Or 120 of them. That's funny, right? So let's see. I mean, who would have thought that your golf game could be hurt by one harmless affair? Or 120 of them. Yeah, that's funny. Wow, can you believe that? Let's try that. Can you believe? Just write down the sentence. Can you believe that Tiger had an affair with 120 women after he was married? Wow. Yeah. I mean, ethically, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Ethically, that's just wrong, isn't it? That's just wrong. Especially being a golfer. You figured he. There we go. You figure he would have stopped at the 19th hole. Okay. There we go. There's another joke. I mean, look at this right here. You can see how the double entendre is working. In my head, I've got those lists that I already wrote down dealing with golf and with Tiger Woods and with sex. And in my head, these things are running through. 19th hole. There's got to be something with the 19th hole. So that pops into my mind. 19th hole is a double entendre for a woman, right? In this case, Tiger was treating women as objects or as holes or whores or whatever you want to do. And then so it came back to me. I mean, who would have thought who would have thought that your golf game would be hurt by one harmless affair? Or 120 of them. Then the other idea came to me. Can you believe that Tiger had an affair with 120 women after he was married? Ethically, that's just wrong, isn't it? Especially being a golfer, you figure he would have stopped at the 19th hole. All relates to golf, right? You see how the 19th hole, basically the 19th hole is the watering hole in on a golf course. That's the bar that you stop at to have a beer after you're done playing around a golf. So you figured he would have stopped at the 19th hole. And does it relate to golf? Absolutely. Here's the key. The double entendres have to relate to our subject matter. That's how you make the humor. So that's where it's a double entendre. It has a double meaning in golf and in sex. So that's what we have there. Let's see. See if I can look at it. We knew his affair would kill his marriage, but his love life, poor Tiger. We could rewrite that joke. Poor Tiger. It's now clear, staying with the theme, that infidelities, right? Infidelities. That's what they call having an affair, right? Have caused. Yeah, let's shatter the assumption here. Let's make them think we're leading to a different direction here. Have caused the departure, there's a better word there somewhere, the departure of his one true love, right? We're assuming at this point Elin Nordegren, and we can just change it to his golf game, right? There we go. So that's another joke. Yeah, these two, this one, this joke here, and this joke here are very similar, so we'll probably just wind up using one rather than the other, or we can use one and then sell the other. So at some point, let's see, love or golf. Can you be in love? Can you play golf? Golf, what's the difference between love and golf? Love as golf is strokes and points and strokes. You count your strokes. Fewest strokes is the winner in golf. Sometimes we look at opposites in comedy. We also look at similarities and opposites. We do a listing technique. We look at similar and we look at opposite. And I'll give you a sheet that really kind of you can download from this page that'll really kind of isolate it for you. You get to see we work with similar and opposite. So I'm thinking right now. Golf game, strokes, high strokes you lose, low strokes you win, except in sex. Now, let's go, at some point, you have to make a decision. Do you want to be a good golfer? Let's use some dialogue chopping here. You want to be a good lover, want to be a good lover or a good golfer. Can't be both, right? Because they're opposites. That's what we're working. Can't be both. In love, he with the fewest strokes is not declared the champion. That could be better. At some point, you have to make a decision. You want to be a good golfer or a good lover? Can't be both. In love, you see, because in love, he with the fewest strokes is not declared. You see, let's do a focuser. You see, because in love, let's put that in quotes. In love, he with the fewest strokes is not declared the champion. There's a better verbiage there. There's got to be some better players. Yes, here it is. Because Tiger goes to the strip clubs. Tiger considers himself a playa, right? Playa in the kind of the vernacular of the street or the clubbing, the scene. You could tell I'm so hip into the clubbing scene. He with the fewest strokes does not rank high among the players, right? Players. That's better dialogue there. Does not rank high among the players. Players. There it is, right? Okay, so at some point you have to make a decision. You want to be a good lover or a good golfer? Can't be both. You see, because in love, he with the fewest strokes does not rank high among the players. That's good. Playa. Some people are. Let's see. What else? Some big player. Nike. He's got Nike. Nike has their Nike. Ooh, Nike, right? We have Nike, right? So we have Nike, right? Here's Nike. Nike's slogan: "Just do it." Here's another double entendre possibility, right? Because double entendre is our main joke formula for this particular type of situation here, where we're doing listing techniques. Just do it. Does it cross over from golf, which is Nike is Tiger's main sponsor, to sex? You betcha. Just do it. So here we go. Some people say that. Tiger's former appetite, because he said he gave it up, right? He was a sex addict, for sex made him a better golfer. Yes. Who would then? Who? What? Where? Who? What? Why would they? Who wants them to be a better golfer? I'm sure a sponsor, Nike, does. So even his sponsor, Nike, called him Called Tiger, called Tiger. Let's reiterate. Called Tiger today. Let's make it now, right? Called Tiger today and said, I don't need a comma, and said, hey, Tiger, Tiger, just do it, baby. Just do. Is that another joke? I believe so. Bam! Let's put a little exclamation point because they're emphasizing something. Just do it. So let's look at what we got there. Some people say the Tiger's former appetite for sex made him a better golfer. Even a sponsor, Nike, called today and said, hey, Tiger, just do it. Yeah, bam! Another joke, right? That's a good joke. That will work. Okay, so let's look at the list. Golf play. Golf balls, of course, are fun. Play around. Play around's good. Want to play around? Play around. Play around. Play around. Play around. It's resonating. Play around. Play around. Okay, in my head. Play around. Play around. How would that? Let's keep going with the connotation. Some people say the Tiger's former appetite for sex made him a better golfer. Even a sponsor, Nike, called today, said, Tiger, just do it. Maybe okay. Here it is. Maybe the truth. Truth is, Tiger was just a better golfer when, here we go, he confused the term play round. Let's make it this way. Play around. Yes, I believe that's another joke. Maybe the truth is Tiger was just a better golfer when he confused the term play around. See, again, double entendre. Play a round of golf and play around with the girl. So play around is definitely, it's a fit. Does it work? Is that a joke? It's audience is the judge, of course, but I believe it has all the elements to laughter. It fits the double entendre formula. It fits both with sex and it fits with golf, so I think that could work. So this kind of we're got a confusing theme here. How else could he confuse golf and sex? He could hooker, somebody who hooks. That's kind of an old phrase, not really used much. Ball washer, wash balls, wash my balls. Here's wash my balls right there. So I wrote it down here. Undress with her eyes, not we address the ball, hit some balls, bang me. It's kind of stretching it. Okay, wash. Okay, how about this? Some say that Tiger was so involved. Why would it be confusing? Who, what, where, why, when, and how? Remember, some people say that Tiger was so involved with women at one point. Some say that Tiger, some say at one point, let's make it conversational, at one point, make it misdirect the audience with at one, some say at one point, that Tiger was so involved with women that he actually confused sex with golf. He's starting to confuse. See, if he actually confused sex with golf, it's almost unbelievable that Tiger would confuse sex with golf. But if he started to, it means he was teetering on some sort of psychosis, and that's a possibility. It puts it in the realm of imagination or what if, and rather than being a rock-solid absolute that the audience isn't going to buy, why not put it in a what-if category and help us imagine that it could happen by saying he actually started confusing golf with sex. It's almost hard to type and do this and think about jokes at the same time. I'm sorry if I'm ranting here, but this is how I talk out jokes sometimes. Some say at one point that Tiger was so involved with women that he actually started confusing golf with sex. Yes. And I have an idea. I want to see if I can finesse it in here. Golf with sex. One of his ladies actually has a recording of Tiger how about a disappointed, a tiger got an ugly girl, what would he do? Of a disappointed tiger, ranting, you mean I washed my balls for this? Aha! Is that a joke? I believe it is. Let's read it through and see if it's got a rhythm to it. Some say at one point that Tiger was so involved with women that he actually started confusing golf with sex. One of his ladies actually has a recording of a disappointed tiger ranting, "You mean I washed my balls for this?" I like it. I think that's I think that's solid, and it's got the edge of balls. Balls is always funny. Makes me think of sweaty balls. If you saw that SNL sketch, this is with Alec Baldwin. Some say at one point that Tiger was so involved with women that actually started confusing golf with sex. One of his ladies, actually, there's two actuallys. Let's get rid of them. One of his ladies, let's get rid of this actually. Good actuallys are usually in the second part of the joke, which is the punch line, that he started confusing golf with sex. One of his ladies actually has a recording of a disappointed tiger ranting, "You mean I washed my balls for this?" Aha. And this is edgy, but I think it could even make it on late night TV because the balls actually refers to golf. Double entendre. Just as in SNL when Alec Baldwin did sweaty balls, Christmas balls, wash my balls, put some my balls start to sweat, that was a double entendre as well. So I think there's a possibility that that might actually make it on, and because of the edge would get a really huge laugh because we're allowed to misbehave here a little bit and have a good time with it. Let's see. Okay. Shoot. How much? All right. I'm assuming that Tiger is earning less money. So if we look up Tiger Woods' earnings for 2010. So let's look at. Nothing to post. 22 million less. What's this about here? Go here. Isn't the internet amazing? 28 million. So earning more than 90 million, but his estimated total earnings more than 90 million. 2010, $22 million less than last year. Woods is still number one on the list, but his estimated total earnings were more than 90 million, are down 30% from nearly 128 million 2 years ago. Okay, so his total earnings, and that's with sponsors as well as that's with sponsors as well as his so he's lost his earnings. He's now making less. So don't feel sorry for Tiger. Let's keep it moving. Don't feel sorry. We're making a sort of a running monologue here for Tiger. Don't feel sorry for Tiger. He made about 90 million? Was it 90 million? He made about 90 million. 90 million. He made about 90 million last year. Which here we go, which just about covers his alimony. There's a joke, right? Just about covers his alimony, which should cover his alimony. 90 million may sound like a lot, and I've got this figure in my head, so I'm going to make this joke up. 90 million may sound like a lot, but for Tiger, that's low. That's bad. That's bad. Right now, yeah. I've got this. Like I said, this figure is in my head. He makes less than Larry the Cable Guy. It's true, Larry the Cable Guy. I'll show you in a second. I don't want to give away the joke. Larry the Cable Guy. That is the joke, really. Larry the Cable Guy. Let's get that right. Larry the Cable Guy. It's in quotes because that's a fictitious character. Larry's real name is Dan Whitney. Larry the Cable Guy. That's right, because Larry the Cable Guy, Larry, made 110 million last year. All right, now Convergence of two or more ideas. We've got a brand new idea coming in here, Larry the Cable Guy. So I know a little something about Larry the Cable Guy because I was doing some research on him last week for some jokes I was doing. And I know in my head that he makes 110 million, made 110 million last year. And I also know something else about Larry the Cable Guy that I think everybody would get who knows him. Maybe... And it still relates to our subject matter, which is sex and golf. Maybe that's because Larry, the cable guy, still knows how to. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? I'll italicize it. Get her done. That's right. Wow, did I sound like Sling Blade right there? So don't feel sorry for Tiger. He made about 90 million last year, which just about covers his alimony. 90 million may sound like a lot, but to Tiger, that's bad. But to Tiger, that's bad. Right now, he makes less than Larry the Cable Guy. Funny. Larry made 110 million last year. Maybe that's because Larry the Cable Guy still knows how to get her done. Okay. Multiple laugh points in that joke, so that's a winner. That's got 2 laugh points right there. Let me go back to the article. Phil Mickelson. We read something about Tiger. Where was it? Back here. Played since knee and Achilles tendon injuries. So some injuries, he hasn't played, which contributed to the who, what, where, why, when, and how, right? We're asking questions of the joke. Why would he fall out of the top 20? Partially because of injuries that's caused him to make less money. So if we go part of the problem. Now this is the hardest part, especially when you're a beginning joke writer, is trying to, once you have the ideas in your head, trying to finesse a way of explaining the joke or telling the joke. What words do I use to tell the joke? And so just because I've done this a lot, I'm able to come up with more ideas. So part of the problem, well, the idea I have in my head, I'm going to get it down on paper before I forget. Those of you who have experienced this know how quickly a joke can vanish. Part of the problem is where was I? God bless it. Okay, sorry. Here it is. Part of the problem is that Tiger had some Tigers had some injuries this year and had to drop out of a couple of tournaments. All right, that's the fact. That's the straight line. Now, comedy is about a straight line and a punchline, also known as a setup, but the straight line has to be straight. It's best if it's a fact, if it's honest and it's true and it's a fact. So we said part of the problem is that Tiger has had some injuries this year. This year would be good if I actually did this right. This year, and had to drop out of a couple of tournaments. You know what that means. Now, this is a great focuser. You know what that means. Why? Because what this does is it actually implies to the audience that this is the truth. You know what that means? It's a misdirection. We're misdirecting them towards, oh, this has got to be the answer to this. Part of the problem is that Tiger had some injuries this year and had to drop out of a couple of tournaments. You know what that means. So it makes the audience think, what does it mean? And they're thinking of answers right now, and probably not the answer you're coming up with as a comedian. So you spin it in another way. So here's the misdirection. You know what that means? And this is where you hit them with the punch. That's gonna cut deep into stripper money. There we go. Stripper money. That is a joke right there. Part of the problem is that Tiger's had some injuries this year and had to drop out of a couple of tournaments. You know what that means? You know what that means? That's going to cut deep into stripper money. That's funny. That makes me think of strippers. Who, what, where, why, when, and how? And who, what, where, why, when, and how is Tiger in a strip club? That would be interesting. Who, what, when, is Tiger at top 20? Has he still got his same game? Same game in the strip clubs? So when you drop out of the top 20 in golf, can you be the same kind of player you were at the strip clubs? Probably not. So if you go when you drop out of the top 20 in golf, can you truly look a stripper? There we go. In the eye. It's just funny thinking of Tiger with a stripper, because that's a situation we're normally not used to seeing him in. It's like a fish out of water, and just by that, it's incongruous in our normal perception of how we perceive somebody, in this case Tiger. So if we put him in a strip club, that's funny automatically. A little kind of a giggle starts to develop in the audience. Can you truly look a stripper in the eye and say, what do you say to a stripper? Baby, I got game. I got game. Okay, let's see how that joke plays. Nah, not that great. When you drop out of the top 20 in golf, can you truly look a stripper in the eye and say, baby, I got game? Not bad. That's not a bad joke. That could get some play. Let's say number 1 to number 20. That's got to be different. Let's do a compare and contrast here, maybe. Compare and contrast is where you set up one possibility, hit them in another. Kathy Ladman, very funny lady, taught me this one. I remember hearing her do this joke one time, and it just really laid out this particular formula called compare and contrast to me. She said, I know that I have complex skin. I'm pretty sure my boyfriend has a face. With that joke, when she said that joke, that made me laugh because of the compare and contrast. She said of one thing is a pretty complex issue, complex skin. She even said it literally, and then said her boyfriend is so dense that he doesn't even know he has a face, which is very funny because it's simple. He's a simpleton too, and it's a double entendre there as well. But we think about this, got to affect his confidence with the ladies. You look to best in the world. Okay, so that's got to affect his Tiger's confidence with the ladies. When you look at a girl, capitalize, when you look at a girl, you look at a girl and say, I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world, comma. That means something. Doesn't it? It's got to mean something. Yeah, that means something. It just doesn't. Okay, just. If I go silent here, it's just because I'm trying to figure out the wording. The same punch. In fact, the same punch when you say, I'm like, make it sound kind of 22nd best in the world. Put a little emphasis on there, bitches. Okay, that's got to affect Tiger's confidence with the ladies. When you look at a girl and say, I'm the best in the world, that means something. It just doesn't pack the same punch when you say, like, I'm like the 22nd best in the world, bitches. See, it's a big difference. So I think that's for time's sake. Let's wrap this thing up. We're already going way past the time I wanted to do these jokes on. I just really wanted to write 5 or 6 to show you how it works. Wait, I've got one in my head right now. That is, let me make sure I got this all the way. Ball marker, you're away. Bucket of balls, blow me. Banging strippers, house best golfer in the world. Missionary dog leg stripper, gross. Where is that thing? I know something's in my head and I can't find it. What is that website for? There it is. Okay, so we'll end it with this. Oops. Looks like. Let's do back to the. Remember what we talked about right at the beginning? I had to shatter the assumption. When the joke says Tiger fell out of the top 20, we assume it's golf. Now here I'm going to spin it another way. Oops, looks like I got it all wrong. Bam. Tiger didn't fall out of the top 20 in golf. Yeah. Evidently, that's a good focuser. Evidently, it sounds like a fact. We misdirect. That was his client ranking. Client ranking was a good word. On his client ranking should be hyphenated. Client ranking on Ashley Madison. .com. There we go. .com. Boom! We got another joke. Okay, so, oops, looks like you got it all wrong. Tiger didn't fall out of the top 20 in golf. Evidently, that was his client ranking on ashleymadison.com. Solid. I love that joke. That's a good joke. So here, let's take a look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Larry the Cable Guy with 2 lap points. 10, 11, 12, 13, because we count 2 lap points as 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 jokes. We got 15 jokes. I don't know, what does that take, a half an hour? 20 minutes, something like that? There you go. So basically, never done before. I just showed you writing jokes right in the moment. We take a subject, we put the line on a separate piece of paper, we do the listing technique. That's the key. Do the listing technique. Without that, you're shot. You can do some in your head, but you really start to clarify it when you really sit down and do the tedious work of listing all the different ideas so that you can come up with more and more and more jokes. As you can see, in the short period of time, we created 15 jokes, 15 solid jokes, some better than others, admittedly, but 15 great jokes that you could use or sell at any given time. So there you go. I just wanted to show you quickly how that worked. I hope you enjoy it. Play it. Get a kick out of it. Try to apply it yourselves. Make sure you do the lists. The lists are crucial. Make sure that you isolate the headline. Don't judge it for whether it's funny or not. Just put it down. Look at the converging ideas that are possibly in there. We had Tiger Woods, life and sex. We also had the sex list over here. And you can, again, do not edit yourself first time through. Put it right down, and then you can just start cranking out jokes. So let's save this. This is new. Let's save it as Tiger Woods list. We have Tiger Woods falls out of the top 20. There we go. We're going to save that. Now we have 15 jokes that we just wrote in a 20 to 30 minute period. Add on to that the listing technique, and maybe you go into an hour and a half. Brand new jokes doing the work of the listing technique. I hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to hear your comments. Please do me a favor and put your comments below. Here we have a section there for comments. Like this thing. Put it on Facebook. Show people. Let's show people how we can start to write jokes. This is Jerry Corley, founder of the Stand-Up Comedy Clinic. I hope you enjoyed this little video I wanted to put together for you. And I will talk to you again soon. Take care.